Chapter 91, Successive Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The reason why Ling Xiao practiced the Ning soul trick was naturally because the black sword of imperial sword art required a lot of soul power, but even so, with the help of Xuanhuan Soul's powerful analysis and drill capabilities, in just 5 days, he used 2 entry-level top martial arts, black sword of imperial sword art and Ning soul juice. At the same time, cultivation reached a state of perfection. I just want to cultivate to the environment. I am afraid I still need some opportunities. He is not in a hurry. Some things need to be promoted in the battle to reach the state of perfection. He is already content, reaching the state of consummation. He didn't think about it, so he used Nilmagong Ningxia to devour these 2 entry-level top martial arts. The top martial arts deserve to be the top martial arts, and there are only 2 kinds of them, which make Nilmagong promoted again. At this time, Nilmagong has changed from Nilmagong Ningxia to Nilmagong form. According to the tips on the pictures of mountains and rivers, Bull Demon skill is promoted to the form stage. Shaki can be directly condensed into the shape of the Bull Demon and attached to the body of the warrior. Ling Xiao has always felt that this Bull Demon skill is a little weird. I don't know if he will practice to a certain extent in the future. Will he directly have the fighting ability of the Bull Demon clan? The Bull Demon race is among the most terrifying of all races. Of course, this is just a matter of thinking, and the improvement of this stage of modification is enough for him now. In the following time, he intends to practice Ghost Sword with all his heart. Double Shadow Swordsmanship is essentially the best top martial arts, and it is the best among top martial arts. Therefore, it is the most powerful and the most difficult to practice. You must know that even Ling Xiao Tian, the head of the Ling family, cannot succeed in cultivation. This is why Ling Xiao put it at the end of cultivation. After leaving the training room, Ling Xiao added a little dry food and heard something from Ling Luo. It is said that 3 days ago, Ling Fifan had left the Ling family and went out to practice, while Ling Chen was retreating in the 3rd floor of the bookstore and did not know what martial arts. This news did bring a little pressure to Ling Xiao. But this pressure also happens to be the driving force. The opponents are improving, so he must work harder. Closing his eyes, Ling Xiao began to concentrate on comprehension of Double Shadow Sword, but as he expected, the superior top martial arts are obviously much more difficult to practice. 9-turn gold body tactic is also a top martial art, relying on a large amount of gold and Handan gold liquid, only to practice the 6th turn. This double shadow swordsmanship is no simpler than 9 turns to gold body skills. Just comprehension is enough to make people uncomfortable. If it weren't for the powerful analysis and drill ability of Xuanhuan, it would only be a month, or even a few years. He might not have much to gain, and now, after spending a day, he finally has a glimpse of double shadow sword. The key to this martial art lies in comprehension. Once it is thoroughly eaten, it is easier to practice. Sure enough, it's not easy. What is needed is the combination of soul power, gang qi, and martial spirit, in order to condense a doppelganger, which is really not what ordinary martial artists can do. But the harder it is, the more happy Ling Xiao is. If others do not succeed in cultivation, if he succeeds in cultivation, he will inevitably occupy a relatively large advantage. This martial art practice is not a joke. Because it involves the soul power, it is easy to get out of the way. So how difficult is it? Only the cultivators really know. In order to fully immerse himself in cultivation, Ling Xiao even directly used into the soul to enter a state where he was in complete control of everything. In this way, even if there is a little problem, he can find and correct it in time. For others, the very dangerous martial arts came to him, but in fact the danger has basically been ruled out, since the condensation soul has been cultivated to a satisfactory level. Ling Xiao's into the soul state has also lasted longer. It is no problem to maintain 1 hour now. After just 1 hour, you have to rest for at least 1/4 of an hour. In this 1/4 of an hour, Ling Xiao no longer cultivates, but condenses Wu Soul avatar, to see Wu Soul scattered and repeatedly practice Ghost Sword. Not only can you find problems in your previous practice, but you can further deepen your impressions, and you won't waste time. Finally, after 3 days, Ling Xiao's Ghost Sword practice to the 1st level, which is an entry. During the attack, a shadow avatar can be differentiated, and its strength is about 30% of his body. Once superimposed, it means that he can increase the attack power by 30% in one attack. Of course, This is just the beginning. The second layer of double shadow swordsmanship will condense a second shadow avatar, and its strength will be improved even more, although it is more difficult to practice than the first layer, but with the first layer as the foundation, this layer is not as difficult as expected. During the cultivation process, he took a gangqi pill and spent 4 days breaking through to the second floor in one fell swoop. In terms of attack power alone, the second layer of ghosting sword technique has now reached the perfect level of advanced martial arts. It's just the second floor. This makes Ling Xiao very excited, so he continued to intensify his cultivation. However, from the second floor to the third floor, cultivation encountered problems. Not that there is no improvement, but the difficulty becomes greater and the speed of improvement becomes extremely slow. It took a whole month. Because of his continuous use of Into the Soul, he increased the duration of Into the Soul by 1/4 of an hour. However, this double shadow swordsmanship was only able to rise to the second peak, as if it had encountered a wall and could not cross it. If this wall is traversed, he will naturally be able to raise the double shadow sword to the third level. There will also be an additional shadow avatar on the third floor, which will naturally increase the power. What is the problem? Through analysis, Ling Xiao finally found the answer to the question. It is still too low. If he can elevate the realm to the 6th level of Wumai, I believe it will be much easier to break through the 3rd level of double shadow sword. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao will no longer drill the horns. He began to practice Snow Lotus Chi Ju. The Handan gold liquid in the mountain and river world and the body still exists. Use the Handan gold liquid to enhance the Snow Lotus Chi secret, plus the remaining 3 gangqi pill, breaking the state to the 6-fold of the Wumai in one fell swoop. It is not bad. Possible things. Once this is practiced, half a month has passed. One night after half a month, www.wuxiaspot.com, there was a huge roar in the practice room. Of course, you can't hear it outside. The sound insulation effect of this practice room is still very good. Breakthrough. Ling Xiao's face showed fatigue, but he was very excited. Xulian Chi Ju finally practiced to the 7th floor and entered the Deshang realm. At the same time, he also broke through the resistance of the 5th martial arts and entered the practice of the 6th martial arts, 6-fold Wumai. The cold and the Handan golden liquid has also been absorbed. It is estimated that from here onwards, if you want to make Snow Lotus Chi Ju so fast, then you can only find other things that can replace Handan too. Of course, Golden Snow Lotus is one of them. Chapter 92, Family Secret. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Breaking through the 6th layer of Wumai, Ling Xiao can clearly feel that his gangqi has obviously improved a lot. Now, simply talking about the volume of gangqi, I am afraid that he has not lost to the Wuzhong Qizhong midterm martial arts. With the breakthrough of the realm, the power of martial arts should all be improved. What Ling Xiao wants most now is to find an opponent to discuss. In this way, you can know how much your martial arts power has improved. Thinking of this, he walked out of the training room, refreshed it, and had a good meal before going to Ling Yihang. Ling Yihang's residence is relatively close to him. His strength is not weak, and it is more convenient to learn. But this kid was not at home today, according to their family. Ling Yihang went to the Fulong Mountains. I guess I want to go out and hone it. After all, Ling Yihang is good at swordsmanship. The swordsmanship is about killing, not many monsters. It is difficult to practice the kind of domineering that belongs to the swordsmanship. Brother, are you looking for Ling Yihang again? Ling Yihang was not found, but Ling Xiao unexpectedly encountered Ling Yixue. At this time, Ling Yixue's state has broken through the early stage of Wumai Wuzhong, but this is not surprising. The most strange thing is that Ling Yixue's body actually belongs to the blue woman in the forest that day. Breath, soul race? Or did you practice the secret method of the soul race? Ling Xiao shook his head without thinking too much about whether Ling Yixue was a human being and what he had cultivated, but he didn't really care. He just needs to know that Ling Yixue treated him well, which is enough. Yes, I just made a breakthrough, so I wanted to try Ling Yihang, but this kid is not here. Ling Xiao smiled bitterly. It's okay, I'll be your sparring partner, and I happen to have something to verify. Ling Yixue chuckled lightly. This is great. Ling Xiao is really getting itchy now, just made a breakthrough, and hopes to verify his strength. Ling Yixue is a more suitable training partner. Sister is helping me today, so sister will do it first. Ling Xiao made a pleased gesture. Then I'm welcome. Ling Xiao nodded and said, younger brother, be careful. My move is a family heirloom, not a martial art of the Ling family. I don't even know what level it is, but it's powerful. Understand. Ling Xiao did not dare to neglect and made a defensive posture. Coming. Ling Xiao was not able to see what she did, but Ling Xiao felt a great crisis. Underground. At that moment, Ling Xiao rose into the sky, and the entry-level top-level technique of Xianjian Huajiao failed to escape, and was stuck to the right leg by a lotus under the ground. Then the ice lotus instantly froze, holding Ling Xiao's right leg. Broken. Ling Xiao's gas burst, easily shattering the ice cubes and coming out of the trap, but be aware that he used the Wuqi Liuzhong Qi. Puff. Ling Xiao suddenly spouted blood and smiled bitterly. With this move, I can instantly kill the 6th level lower level monsters and beasts. I didn't expect you to be able to cause any harm to your brother. Sister, is this mystery? Ling Xiao asked. Well, this is the family secret mystery engraved in my mind, Earth Heart Ice Lotus Bound. This mystery is 9 centimeters in height. I am currently only practicing to the limit of the Xiaocheng realm, which is only the 3rd level. Ling Xiao replied. If I guessed right, besides using Gang Qi, this should also cooperate with soul power. Yes, brother, how do you know? Ling Xiao asked in surprise. Sister, come over here. Ling Xiao beckoned, although Ling Xiao was a little puzzled, but with her understanding of Ling Xiao, she thought Ling Xiao would not harm her, so she walked over. Suddenly, Ling Xiao pointed at Ling Xiao's forehead, and the souls of the two came in close contact. The soul condensation technique. The entry-level top secret method. The secret method specializing in the cultivation of soul. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Xiao in shock and said, brother, this is not very good. If you let the family know that you passed this thing to me, I'm afraid it will happen. What's the matter? Are Ling Xing, Ling Xiao, and others still passing on advanced martial arts to their undisputed sons? Ling Xiao didn't care. He also doesn't want to be a lonely man, but he still has to cultivate some friends or helpers for himself in the family. Ling Xiao counts as one, and Ling Yihang also counts as one, so that once something goes wrong, it won't be born alone. Besides, the soul of condensation is not a great top martial art, it is just an entry level. This level of top martial arts can still be photographed at the auction. Okay, thank you very much, but in return, I can't hide it. This Earth Binglian bound should be regarded as a return. Ling Xiao thought about it, and also passed his secret method to Ling Xiao. Although it is a family secret method, as long as it is not extraordinary martial arts, it will not be a problem if it is passed on, not to mention that Ling Xiao does not like to owe others the favor. Ling Xiao shook his head and said, if I am not wrong, Earth Heart Binglian should belong to the top martial arts, so, I accept this secret method, but I will send you another top martial arts as compensation, right? He got 6 top martial arts from the 3rd floor of the bookstore. Currently he has learned 3, and the remaining 3 are not suitable for him. In particular, one of the entry-level top-level defense martial arts is called Colorful Xia. Although it is not as good as 9 turns to gold body skills, it is expensive to practice and is only suitable for girls. This is even to borrow flowers to offer Buddha. Ling Xiao was no longer polite. The two exchanged martial arts, and they were very satisfied, and at the moment when the soul of Fang Kai touched, although both of them didn't point out, they both knew that the distance between the two was narrowed because of that. Sister, the key to Earth Heart Ice Lotus Bond is soul power. Gongqi is only an aid. When you use it, there is a certain deviation. And the secret of this secret method is sneak attack. It is best to use it suddenly during battle. If the other party doesn't know, then there is almost a 10% certainty that the other party will be successful. Ling Xiao reminded. Thank you, brother, for your guidance. Then let me teach you the skills of the following brothers. Ling Xiao knew that she was definitely not Ling Xiao's opponent, but since she agreed to do sparring, she would not go back on her words. Of course, Ling Xiao will not press people with the realm, so there is nothing to test. He intends to press the realm to the level of Ling Xiao, and then check the power of the following ghost sword. the result is quite amazing. Ling Xiao blocked Ling Xiao's attack www.wuxiaspot.com but did not expect to be a shadow avatar. The result was that Ling Xiao put the long sword on his neck without resistance. Brother, you actually practiced the legendary ghost sword, but this is the top martial art in the Ling family who is reputed to be impossible to practice successfully. All the people who entered the third floor of the library are not anyone will choose this martial art. Ling Xiao was inexplicably shocked. For Ling Xiao, she felt even more mysterious. Good luck. Ling Xiao smiled, not explaining much. Ling Xiao did not ask. She is not that kind of annoying woman. After all, everyone has their own secrets. Really want to break the casserole and ask the end. The commander Xuanhuan is bored. Ling Xiao, you are a bitch. Suddenly, an angry voice came from the wall. Chapter 93, Kneel down and apologize. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao and Ling Xiao looked at the same time. They saw two people standing above the wall. One is Ling Chen, the other is Ling Yun. It was Ling Yun who spoke. I do not understand what you're saying. Ling Xiao gave Ling Yun a light look. Since the family comparison, Ling Yun has obviously been stimulated and has an unbalanced mentality. Although she said she is desperately practicing, she is not as good as she and Ling Yihang. If you try again, although she dare not say that she will win Ling Yun steadily, she can definitely guarantee that she will not lose within 100 strokes, so she is not afraid of Ling Yun now. Pretend to be stupid. You have something to do with Ling Fifan. Now that Ling Fifan has gone out and hasn't returned, but you hooked up with Ling Xiao, aren't you sluts? Ling Yun whispered. Ling Fifan is indeed chasing me, but I did not make any promises to him. As a disciple of the Ling family, you insult me today and you must apologize. Ling Xiao's brows were slightly wrinkled, and his face was not pretty. What about insulting you, bitch? Ling Yun is very crazy, obviously because Ling Chen was beside him. He was not afraid of Ling Xiao. Get me off. Ling Xiao can't stand it any longer, but here is his yard. It's just that Ling Chen and Ling Yun are standing on the courtyard wall. Ling Yun actually dared to speak badly and insulted Ling Xiao and him. If he could bear it, wouldn't Ling Xiao become his grandson? During the speech, Ling Xiao suddenly shot, and actually used the Earth Heart Binglian binder that Ling Xiao had used, only his hand is obviously more beautiful than Ling Xiao. Binglian came out from the void, directly frozen Ling Yun, and then he was caught back by him. A set of movements are so coherent that Ling Chen next to them is too late to save. Let him go. Ling Chen looked at Ling Xiao and said coldly. If he kneels down and apologizes, I will naturally let him go. Ling Xiao did not have any affection for Ling Chen. When he was in the bookstore, he actually grabbed his ice glass sword in front of the patriarch, the second grandfather and the elder Ling Yin. He didn't break out because he knew he was not Ling Chen's opponent, but today, it may not be necessary. I told you to let him go. Then I knelt down to pay my brother's guilt, and obediently handed over the Ling Xiao. I just did not happen today. Ling Chen put his hands behind his back, with a high-toe look, completely did not put Ling Xiao in his eyes. Ha ha, what kind of thing do you dare to talk to me like this? My status is equivalent to that of the elders in the door. You don't kneel and salute when you see me. Instead, you are so crazy, is it that you want to rebel? Ling Xiao laughed suddenly, and then stepped on Ling Yun's body. Ling Yun at this moment, although aware of his consciousness, was stepped on the ground like a dead dog and could not move. He can't wait to commit suicide. At first, he was also the second disciple of Genius Hall anyway, but now he is so insulted. Elder, Ling Chen said disdainfully, Ling Xiaoling, the head of the Ling family, is my dear grandfather. Are you kneeling or not? I should ask you this. Ling Xiao knew that Ling Chen was great, so Ling Yun was first handed over to Ling Xiao, and he wanted to make a break with Ling Chen here. He didn't forget the hatred in the library. Court death. Ling Chen was really angry. At the Ling family, including that first-day talent, Ling Fifan didn't dare to talk to him like that. He only left the Ling family for 4 years, and some people took him so lightly, it doesn't seem to be possible to use some means. Stop. However, when the two are about to fight, Ling Wuhan appeared. Ling Chen, you must have forgotten that this is my house. Ling Wuhan's face was uncertain. In the book collection pavilion, Ling Chen did not give him a face. At that time, he saw that the elders of Taishang and the patriarch had no consideration. Now Ling Chen has dared to break into his mansion and provoke his people. If he didn't do anything, his reputation as Ling Wuhan would be forgotten. Two uncles, are you going to protect him? Ling Chen looked at Ling Wuhan and sneered a little. He doesn't need me to protect, but you have no respect. I will teach you the 13th brother today. After all, Ling Wuhan suddenly shot. Perhaps it has not been shot for a long time. Many people have forgotten that Ling Wuhan is the second master of the Ling family after Ling Xiaotian. His shot was powerful. Ling Chen was already the early martial arts martial artist, but in the face of Ling Wuhan, he had no resistance at all. Ling Wuhan hit Ling Chen on the ground with just one move. Apologize, then get out. Ling Wuhan didn't talk much, but he was domineering. Ling Chen's mouth moved, and finally arched towards Ling Xiao and said, sorry. Ling Xiao, give me a face and let Ling Yan go. He is the son of my 13th brother after all. Ling Wuhan looked at Ling Xiao and said politely, without the slightest command. Ling Er's face must be given to me, but Ling Yun must kneel down to apologize to Sister Ishua. I have already spoken this sentence and I cannot take it back. He didn't want to refute Ling Wuhan's face, but some things still had to be insisted on, especially in front of Ling Ishua. Did you hear Ling Yun? Ling Wujian glanced at Ling Yun as if he were a dead dog. Ling Yun's heart was sad, but there was no way. This is Ling Wuhan's house, and it was wrong for them to break in, even if it was reported to the patriarch. He could feel that if he didn't kneel and apologize now, Ling Xiao would definitely abolish him. This person was terrible. Sorry. I shouldn't be talking nonsense. Finally, Ling Yun stiffened and kneeled on the ground. Chom Ling Ishua said. Get out. Ling Xiao waved his hand before the ice on Ling Yun's body was lifted. Ling Yun didn't dare to say anything, and fled in embarrassment. Ling Xiao, I am negligent in this matter. After Ling Chen and Ling Yun left, Ling Wuhan smiled bitterly. Ling Yiri does not have to blame himself. Although this house belongs to you, it is still Ling family. After all, Ling Chen is so powerful that most people can't stop it. Forget it, no big deal happened anyway. Ling Xiao did not want to continue to struggle with this matter. It's worthy of Ling Xiao, everything is handled neatly and cleanly, without dragging mud and water. It's no wonder that cultivation has entered the country so quickly, Ling Er said with a smile. Since you two are here today, I will tell you one thing by the way. Second Lord, but it's okay. Ling Xiao nodded. Ling Yishua also nodded. www.wuxiaspot.com. Do you know how to get the name of the four sons of Tianfeng City? Ling Wuhan asked. Both shook their heads. They were so absorbed in martial arts that they really did not care too much about these things. In fact, after the annual big competition of all ethnic groups, the city lords of Tianfeng City will invite geniuses of all ethnic groups to the city lord's palace for a competition. The top four will be given the title of son, and they will also receive many real benefits. Ling Wuhan explained, this competition is known as the Tianfeng City's Tianfeng Festival. There are only 20 people in total, and the age limit is under 20 years old. Each of the four major families can have 4 people. This is what 16 people, the other 4 places are competing for the rest of the family. Don't underestimate this event, it is just a showdown, but in fact it is a war of the 4 big families competing for resources. It is estimated that both of you will be sent to participate by the time. By the way, people in this city will know the result of such a competition. In case of failure, they will be drowned by spittle stars. Chapter 94, Shijia Yulian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Wuhan and Ling Yishua left. Ling Xiao looked at the towering giant tree outside the courtyard and muttered to herself, the world is too big, so I will go out and see after all. Now that he has become the first person of the younger generation of the Ling family, then next, he will go out of the Ling family and try to see what level of young talents are in the entire Tianfeng City. 8th level peak monster. Blue Lady. All races are competing for men. All of this provokes his nerves, making him very hopeful that he can go out as soon as possible. As long as Tianfeng City is invincible, then it is time for him to leave. Human advancement requires motivation, and once invincible, it loses its direction. There is still 1 month left before the Tianfeng event, and strive to cultivate both the double shadow sword and 9 turns to the golden body skill to Desheng realm. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao no longer hesitated and returned to the training room. At the same time, the 4 major families of Tianfeng City and many other families are also preparing for the Tianfeng event. Generally speaking, the 4 people sent by the 4 major families are the top 4 in the annual comparison. This is also the reason why the Tianfeng event is held after the annual Dabi. However, there are some exceptions. For example, on the Ling family, Ling Chen returned, Ling Fifan went out to practice, and both Ling Zhan and Ling Shuang chose to retreat. The 4 people sent out are debatable. However, as the number 1 ranking of Tiancating, Ling Xiao will basically be sent to participate in this summit. Therefore, he does not have to worry about this quota, or concentrate on practicing more suitable for him. 10 days later. In the practice room, Ling Xiao stabbed with a sword, turned into 4 figures, and then quickly merged into one. Of these 4 figures, 1 is the real body and 3 are the shadow avatars. After 10 days of hard training, he finally broke through the 3rd layer of double shadow sword. For the double shadow sword with only 5 layers, this is already a very high level, and one sword can be transformed into 3 figures. If Xuanhuan doppelganger is added, it is 4 ways. With the body, it can be changed from 1-on-1 to 5-on-1 at a time, and the opponent can't be caught off guard. Sure enough, the bottleneck of the 3rd layer of ghost sword has disappeared after the realm has been upgraded. It seems that the choice to upgrade to the cultivation behavior before is correct. Holding the ice glass sword in his hand, Ling Xiao looked happy. 10 days later, he broke ghost sword through the 3rd layer. Although the 4th layer will not increase the number of shadow avatars, the attack of each shadow avatar will increase by 20%, in other words, from the original only 30% of Ling Xiao's body strength to 50% strength. Ling Xiao is currently in the early stage of Wumai's 6th layer, and the actual combat power is probably not lost to the latter. His 50% strength is at least the level of the martial art triple warrior. This level is much higher than many disciples of Ling Jia Elite Hall. Of course, his realm improved, but for the time being, the template still chose the 5 peaks of Wumai. Of course, this is not to want to install. After all, the more cards, the greater the possibility of winning, hiding the true strength. This is also a card. When double shadow sword entered the territory slowly again, Ling Xiao temporarily stopped and returned to the practice of 9 turns to the golden body. At present, his 9 turns to gold body tips is the 6th turn. If you can practice to the 7th turn before the Tianfeng festival, not only will the defense be greatly improved, but even a special effect will be produced. You should know that the 7th turn can be practiced to be a real gold body. When the 9 turns gold body technique is displayed, the body is yellow in cash, and a thin film-like thing is attached to the surface of the skin, which not only defends amazingly, but also rebounds the enemy's attack. Although the cold liquid in the world of mountains and rivers has run out of cold, the liquid gold has not been used up yet. With these gold liquids, it is enough to raise the 9 turns to gold body tips to the 7th turn, especially after his self-cultivation has already broken through the 6-fold of Wumai. It is obviously easier to practice 9 turns to the golden body, and some of the previous obstacles have almost completely disappeared. Jiu Zhuan Jin Shinju is a top-notch martial art. Once I reach the 7th turn, I can confidently defeat Ling Chen. Before he faced Ling Chen, he was still at a disadvantage. If Ling Wuhan didn't shoot that day, he would absolutely not be able to drive Ling Chen away. At most it would be undefeated, but he would definitely be embarrassed. Ling Wuhan can help him once, but it is impossible to help him all the time. If he wants to be face-saving and respectful, he must be strong enough. Almost at the same time, a strong breath rose from the back of the Ling family, and the entire Ling family felt it. Wumai 6-fold cultivation in the middle. And how can there be a special feeling of fear in this breath? Ling Xiao frowned slightly. He was very familiar with the breath. It should be Ling Chen. 10 days ago, Ling Chen was already at the beginning of the 6 peaks of Wumai, so it is normal to break through now. After all, after Ling Chen came back, he was cultivated by the Ling family in concert, and even the 4th floor of the bookstore let him in. But Ling Xiao was worried about the special breath of fear. Could it be that the breath brought by the fragments of extraordinary martial arts? Haha, grandson Ling Chen, your grandfather is shocking your grandfather. At the age of 17, he broke through the sixfold of Wumai and broke the record of Tianfeng City's dust seal for more than 50 years. Now it has once again broken through. Ling Xiaotian looked at Ling Chen and praised with satisfaction with his beard. It is even more surprising to Grandpa that you have already realized the two profound martial arts mysteries. If neither of them is Tianfeng City's first genius, who else? If the grandfather of the patriarch and the elders of the great supremes work together to help me clear the martial arts and temper my body, I would not be able to break through the sixth middle stage of the martial arts so quickly, and it would be impossible to comprehend the second type of extraordinary martial arts mystery. Although Ling Chen was arrogant, he was not arrogant at all in the face of the four old men present. After all, the cultivation practices of these four old men are all above the seventh level of the Wumai. You know, the martial arts above the seventh level is the stage of gas explosion, and it is the real warrior. A warrior who is further than the warrior. The sixth and seventh layers seem to be separated by one layer, but in fact they are the gap between the sky and the chasm. Wu Sheng was promoted to martial, and one of the 100 people succeeded. It was lucky. The warrior was promoted to a martial artist, and 1 in 1,000 succeeded. Even if it was very good, one is that there is no 1 in 1, and the other is that there is no 1 in 1. This gap is quite large. It's good to know humility. Don't go to trouble Ling Xiao now. You should work together to win glory for my Ling family, you know. Ling Xiaotian said with a smile, my Ling Clan has two of you. www.wuxiaspot.com. He Chou will not be able to stabilize the other three big families in the future, and He Chou cannot win the first prize at this Tianfeng summit. Grandpa is assured that the Tianfeng event is just that I haven't participated in these years. Now that I am back, the first son of Tianfeng City will naturally belong to our Ling family. Ling Chen's words revealed strong self-confidence, and he did not take the rest of the Tianfeng City's warriors into consideration. Never mind you, the strongest person among the four families is the Qianjinshi Yulian in the city's main palace. This woman must not be underestimated. Ling Xiaotian frowned and reminded. Sure, Yulian is nothing more than the 5 peaks of the Wumai Peak. Why am I afraid? Grandpa, you are too worried. But Sure Yulian is hailed as the first beauty of Tianfeng City. The grandson may be able to marry her back as your granddaughter-in-law. Ling Chen shook her head with a smile, but when she saw what Ling Xiaotian had to say, she continued, of course, Grandpa, you can rest assured that there are still 20 days from now to the Tianfeng festival. I will never relax in practice. Chapter 95, Overall Enhancement. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feel the breath from Ling Chen's extraordinary martial arts mystery. Ling Xiao did not waver. He just tried harder to practice. Time flies like flowing water. The day of the Tianfeng summit is getting closer and closer. In addition to the 16 places in the 4 major families, the remaining 4 places have also begun fierce competition. Not everyone is willing to spend time in the rivers and lakes. Once you have achieved results at the Tianfeng event, you will be invited by the city owner to join the army of the Northern Han dynasty and hold an official position. On such days, there are also countless people yearning. Outside Tianfeng City, many young talents also rushed here, in order to see the style of the 4 sons of Tianfeng City. Of course, some people simply want to appreciate the posture of Tianfeng City's first beauty. For these, Ling Xiao naturally has no interest and no time to pay attention. He learned through Ling Er that Ling Fifan was the last one among the 4 sons of Tianfeng City, that is, the weakest one. The strength of the remaining 3 sons are all above the sixfold of Wumai. It's just that the 3 sons are all around 18 years old. This strength is worthy of him to deal with it. In addition, although the 4th son Ling Fifan was defeated by Ling Xiao, although the Ling family does not allow outside stories, there is no airtight wall under the sky. After all, this matter was passed on. Except for the 3 sons, the 4 major families now stare at the position of the 4th son. As for Ling Xiao, they didn't put it in their eyes. It was true that they were able to defeat Ling Fifan, but the realm they showed was only in the late Wuzhong period, and these warriors who are staring at the position of the 4 sons are the 5 peak martial arts. They naturally will not admit that they are weaker than Ling Extraordinary. But they didn't know that Ling Xiao's mighty power had not been comparable for a long time. Even today's three sons, plus Ling Chen and Tian Yuqing's first beauty Shi Yulian, none of them are afraid that they are not Ling Xiao's opponents. Ling family. In Ling Xiao's home exercise room, he was sitting cross-legged on the ground at this time, and there seemed to be a layer of gold-colored film all around him. Wuhuan doppelgang continued to attack from all angles, but Ling Xiao did not move from beginning to end. Even so, every attack on Wuhuan's avatar was completely flicked out by this gold-colored film and could not cause any harm. At the age of 14, Ling Xiao finally cultivated the superior top-level defense martial arts of 9 turns to golden body skills to the 7th turn, unless the opponent's chi quality is stronger than him, or possesses any treasure. Otherwise, not only cannot break his defense, but will also be injured by rebound. The stronger the attack, the more serious the injury. Ling Xiao, who is only 14 years old, feels taller than his peers, and has a very well-balanced figure. It's not too burly, but it's not very thin, and every muscle of his looks just right, not too bloated, not too little. The body that was condensed by Handan Jinya, at this time, has become so powerful that the martial arts of the same realm have reached an unbelievable level. It is more than 10 days ago to break through the 7th turn, not to mention, just relying on the practice of Wumai Liuzhong and the 7th turn of 9 turns to the golden body. He was confident that he would get the title of 4 sons. It was just that he had never seen the other 3 sons and did not know their specific strength, so he did not dare to say that he was invincible. Therefore, after breaking through the 9 turns to the golden body skill, he did not stop practicing, and turned to Ghost Shadow Sword, Black Sword of the Sword Art, Ning Soul Skill, Snow Lotus Chi Skill and the mysterious method Earth Heart Ice Lotus Bond for the final sprint. To this day, his condensation of souls and Black Sword of Imperial Sword Art have almost entered into the realm, and they have truly achieved the point of fascination. Both natural swordsmanship and soul power have made great progress, and their use has become more diverse. Snow Lotus Chi Ju, relying on a 1,000-year-old golden snow lotus, directly broke through to the 7th floor and entered the state of Deshang. Geocentric Ice Lotus Bound is also immersed in the light of this golden snow lotus, directly breaking through to the 6th peak state and entering the realm of mastery. This is much higher than Ling Yishua's state. Although double shadow swordsmanship is still the 3rd level peak, it has not entered the realm, but this realm is much more stable and more skilled in use. In the process of practicing double shadow sword technique, Ling Xiao vaguely discovered that if combined with the evil spirit of bull demon skill, the attack power of each shadow avatar will increase by about 10%. The higher the realm of Nyo, the more power will increase. That is to say, when he breaks through to the 4th layer of Ghost Sword, the fighting power of each shadow avatar is not his 50%, but 60% or more. This is just a bonus, according to his speculation. Once the double shadow sword practice to the 5th level of the Great Consummation realm, after being swallowed by the bull demon skilled modification, I am afraid that it will increase more. Taking advantage of this, Ling Xiao also increased the fighting power of Wuxin Doppelganger. Compared with the shadow avatar, the Wuhuan avatar has a longer duration and more abundant use of moves. After all, the shadow doppelganger is just a swordsmanship, but Wuwu's soul doppelganger exists independently. Except for the lack of self-soul, it is equivalent to the weakened version of Ling Xiao. According to Ling Xiao's speculation, once double shadow sword technique is cultivated into the realm, I am afraid that its attack power is unstoppable under the extraordinary martial arts. Even the mystery of the extraordinary martial arts is incomparable. After all, the fragment is a fragment, not a real martial art. It just allows the warrior to get some attack or defense enhancement. It is not so magical. Next, it's time to raise your body of law. At this time, there are still 10 days before the Tianfeng event. Ling Xiao intends to promote Xiang Yunbu Hua Jiao, judging from the current situation, his most powerful body style, but the hind legs, but only the entry-level top-level body style. This is definitely not possible, must be promoted. Fortunately, this is not a problem for him. He originally got 6 entry-level top martial arts from the bookstore. In addition to the 3 he is currently practicing, there are colorful Shijia that he uses to exchange with Ling Yishua. In addition to the 2, the remaining 2 are body methods, entry-level top-level practice. He intends to use the next time to fully integrate these two top-level body skills, and then serve as the basis for improving Xiang Yunbu. There is no way, Xiang Yunbu to improve, can only be based on the rest of the body. In this way, 8 days have passed, the door of the training room suddenly opened, and a golden dragon flew out of the training room. It was so fast that it was just a golden light, and it could not see anything else at all. This golden dragon looks relatively small. Yu reading www.yuyukeangshu.com is only 2 or 3 meters long. It fell in the courtyard, but it was Ling Xiao. Hahaha, Xianjianbu young dragon. It is equivalent to the rare top-level body technique. It seems that Kung Fu does not live up to people's hearts, and finally I have not spent it in these 8 days. Ling Xiao laughed excitedly. Xiang Yunbu was finally promoted from Jiao to young dragon, which not only improved the speed and stagnation ability, but also cooperated with the rest of the attack martial arts, but also improved many attacks. The power of it. Brother, I'm not happy. Ling Xiao, who was excited, suddenly discovered that Ling Luo was squatting there, with an unhappy face. What happened to Ronaldinho? Ling Xiao asked suspiciously. Today's radish head is obviously much stronger than before, and it is also a warrior with double martial arts. Just now I heard from my brothers, there is no brother in the quota for the Tianfeng event this time. Chapter 96, Take a Place. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Ling Luo's words, Ling Xiao felt strange, but he was the #1 disciple of Tian Kai Tang, but he did not get the qualification to participate in the Tianfeng event. This is a bit abnormal. This is a rare opportunity for exchange and discussion. Ling Xiao has been struggling to find his opponent. This Tianfeng event is like preparing for him. He thought he would definitely be able to participate, so he kept paying attention to the time. Now he is told that he is not qualified. This is too ridiculous. Ling Luo, don't be angry first, tell your brother what's going on. Ling Xiao is not impulsive, he needs to make things clear. I don't know the specifics. I heard from my brothers that the 3 senior elders are not willing to let you fight, saying that you are lonely and weird, and you like to provoke wrongdoing in fear of causing trouble, so you disqualified you. Ling Luo said vigorously, although the patriarch still wants you to go, but he is not good for you to fight against the 3 elders too, so decided. Who are qualified? Ling Xiao asked. Ling Chen, Ling Yun, Ling Yihang, Ling Feng. Ling Luo replied. Ling Chen and Ling Yihang are qualified, but that Ling Yun counts something. I saw it in the first battle that day. His strength is not even as good as that of Sister Ishua. Why should I participate? And that Ling Feng came out funny. Ling Xiao was unhappy. That's right, after hearing about the Dabi, Ling Xuan, Ling Zhan, Ling Xiaopeng, Ling Dapeng and others have all closed their doors to practice. They can't participate in this Tianfeng event, and Ling Fifan went out to practice. Not to Ling Feng who didn't even make the finals. Ling Luo was even more upset. Wait. Ling Xiao suddenly motioned Ling Luo to stop talking and then looked at the door. 2 people walked in outside the door, one was Ling Xiaotian and the other was Ling Wuhan. Patriarch. Second Lord. Ling Xiao and Ling Luo bowed their hands to salute. You know everything about the Tianfeng event. This quota was set by the 3 elders and I, and it can't be changed now, but in order to make up for your loss, I specially brought an entry-level today top martial arts. Ling Xiaotian's attitude is not bad, but it is a pity that he does not understand what Ling Xiao needs at all. What Ling Xiao needs is to learn from masters, not the entry-level top martial arts. What is more needed is respect. Patriarch, please forgive your disciples for being rude. This entry-level top martial art, Ling Xiao does not need it, please take it back. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Xiaotian, although he has a good opinion of Ling Xiaotian, but as the patriarch, he can't even do this little thing, which is really disappointing. Want to win over people's hearts. Compared with Ling Wuhan, Ling Xiao was naive. Father, one of the entry-level top martial arts wanted to confuse this matter, don't you think it's too much drama? Could this Ling family become the Ling family of 3 elders? Ling Wuhan is also angry. Of the 3 people he made, only Ling Yihang was finally qualified, but neither Ling Xiao nor Ling Xiao actually got this qualification. To shut up, Ling Xiaotian's face changed, and her attitude suddenly became tough. She said, "The matter is here, no need to say anything, you don't need to talk about this top martial art, but this is a matter fixed by the family, even if you are not happy in your heart, you must accept it." Speaking of which, he sighed a lot slower and sighed, "Young people, I admire your character, but once you are easy to break, you still have to be smooth." Talking, he shook his head and turned away. Perhaps Ling Xiaotian's words made sense, but Ling Xiao is difficult to accept, this is obviously unfair, and he will never swallow it. Ling Yun and Ling Feng are going to participate in the Tianfeng event. It just happened to have a hatred against Ling 13, it seems that I have to do something. He did not tell anyone about this plan, including Ling Yiri and Ling Yixue. One day later, it was the day when the Tianfeng event was held, the Ling family suddenly changed the list to go to the competition, and the four people became Ling Chen, Ling Xiao, Ling Yixue, and Ling Yihang. The reason is simple, because last night, Ling Yun and Ling Feng were attacked in the clan, and they were injured and could not go to the competition. Ling 13 jumped like thunder, but could not find any clues. Although Ling Xiaotian suspected that Ling Xiao did it, he still didn't quite believe it. Ling Xiao could actually deceive Ling Xing and beat Ling Yun and Ling Feng seriously. According to witnesses that night, the visitor injured Ling Yun and Ling Feng at the same time with a single stroke, and then left quickly, can't see clearly. Even the law of body, is Ling Xiao so strong? Ling Xiaotian and the three Taishang elders expressed doubts. This matter has been revealed for the time being. Of course, Ling Xiao did this. He is not such a rigid person. Since you do not follow the rules, then I can only break the rules. On the day of the game, he went to the city's main palace with Ling Yixue, Ling Yihang, Ling Chen, and the 10 talented disciples responsible for raiding, as well as the leading patriarchs Ling Xiaotian and Taishang elder Ling Yin. On the way, Ling Yixue deliberately fell to the end with Ling Xiao. "Brother, did you do that?" Sister thought. Ling Xiao did not answer positively, but a slightly deep smile already represented everything. "Thank you, I would not dare to do that." Ling Yixue didn't think Ling Xiao did anything wrong. Like Ling Xiao, she was a disciple who was recruited from outside. She originally vowed to be loyal to Ling's family. After all, they were very grateful to the Ling family at first. But as time went on, many things the Ling family did made them chill. Although it is said that he will not be an enemy of the Ling family, the old feelings of gratitude to date have long since disappeared. For them, the Ling family is just a place to learn martial arts, and there is no longer any kind of so-called affection. It's okay, it's their unruly first. Ling Xiao smiled, and she had reached the main palace in front. Tianfeng City's main palace covers a very large area, and this time the Tianfeng festival was held in Xuanhuan, the main city of the city. There are pavilions and pavilions in the mountains, and each of the four families occupies one pavilion. It is very thoughtful to prepare tea and snacks. The rest of the family can only be in the pavilion, and some even have no pavilion, and can only sit on the floor. This is the gap in treatment. Ling Xiao has been concentrating on cultivation, so she doesn't know much about the other three other than the Ling family, let alone masters. It's the Li family. www.wuxiaspot.com. He took a few more look. Li Xingyun, who was killed by him, is a member of the Li family. Ling Xiao, it seems that you are very interested in the Li family. That person is named Li Xinghui. He is ranked first among the four sons, and he is the most outstanding one, and he is also the brother of the killed Li Xingyun. Ling Yihang pointed at the pavilion of the Li family and said, "Oh. It seems that you don't believe it, but I don't believe it either, but what I saw with my own eyes was the Li Xinghui at the Tianfeng event last year. It completely crushed and defeated the other three sons. Every shot was just a trick." Ling Yihang said that he was very serious, fearing that Ling Xiao would disparage the enemy. One move to defeat Ling Fifan. Really powerful. Although he said so in his mouth, Ling Xiao felt that there was no big deal. Looking at Li Xinghui's breath, he knew that this man was completely slanted and attacked, so he was good at attacking. Chapter 97, The Event Begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That Li Xinghui's sword went off the wing and was good at attacking. If the enemy cannot be defeated in a short period of time, then he must be the one to lose, in all aspects of defense, gang qi, etc. This Li Xinghui is much lower than the people in the same realm, only attacking and ridiculously high. Fighting this kind of person must definitely avoid its edge, otherwise it is normal to lose one move. Your name is Li Xinghui, right? Suddenly, Ling Chen, not far from the side, looked at Li's pavilion with a smile. Exactly. Li Xinghui felt like a sharp sword, and all spoke with a sense of coldness. I heard that you defeated the other 3 sons in one move last year, but that was because I was not here. This year's Sun Duel will definitely let you know how powerful Ling Chen is. Li Xinghui glanced at Ling Chen lightly and shook his head gently. Although you are strong, but you are not qualified to beat me, it is him who makes me a little bit unclear. Li Xinghui's eyes suddenly turned to Ling Xiao. This person's vision is really poisonous. Although Ling Xiao used the template of Wumai Wuzhong Peak and did not expose any special breath, Li Xinghui still felt as good. This may be the intuition of the warrior. You. Ling Chen's face changed suddenly. He didn't expect Li Xinghui to despise him so much, but gave Ling Xiao so much affirmation. Ha 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 ha. There was a burst of laughter from the Li family. All felt that Ling Chen was insulting herself. Brother Chen, don't care too much, he is just psychological tactics, want to disturb your mind. Ling Tai's hand standing beside Ling Chen reminded. You don't need to remind you, don't I know this yet? Li Xinghui, you have enough species, but later, I will let you know the cost of despising me. Ling Chen gritted his teeth and practiced for 4 years in his foreign experience. When he came back, he thought that he could sweep the Tianfeng city. Who knew that he had eaten deflated in the family, and now he was despised by Li Xinghui. Strength. The person praised by Li Xinghui should be Ling Xiao. The person who defeated Ling Fanfan. Tianfeng City said that it's not a big deal. It's basically impossible to hide a thing completely, especially since Lingjia's annual dobby has passed for more than a month. If no one outside knows that Ling Xiao is the one who defeated Ling Fifan, that's funny. Therefore, Li Xinghui's remarks quickly caught everyone's attention. The 5 peaks of Wumai are indeed at a high level. It is possible to defeat Ling Fifan. You have to find him to practice hands later. In Tianfeng City, there are not many warriors in the 5 peaks of Wumai. Even the younger generation, there are dozens of them. None of these people is subdued. City Lord arrives. Suddenly, a loud voice came, making the scene that was originally chaotic suddenly silent. Not far away, the main owner of Tianfeng City, with his daughter Yulian taking the steps, gradually appeared in everyone's field of vision. The sound of breathing at the scene suddenly became hurried. Almost everyone's eyes were on Yulian, the hostess of Tianfeng City's first beauty. The first master outside the 4 sons. These names make Yulian mysterious and desirable. No noise was heard, only the sound of many people swallowing saliva. Yulian has a tall figure and a pink makeup, which makes her more charming and graceful. Her skin is very white, just like the best sheep fat white jade. Her smile hung on her face, revealing the maturity and temptation that did not match the age. As if the ripe peaches made people want to take a bite, but only 16 years old. This woman has such a face, no wonder it will be hailed as the first beauty of Tianfeng City. But somehow, at the moment of seeing Yulian, Ling Xiao thought of Ling Yu. The 2 women were of the same type. He frowned slightly, and suddenly lost interest in appreciating beauty. I hope this Yulian is just like Ling Yu on the surface, don't look like it on the inside, otherwise it would be a pity. After all, he still appreciates women like Ling Xiao more. There is not much talk, but often the truth is revealed and not artificial. What's more, Ling Xiao's beauty is not inferior to that of Yulian. To some extent, it is even better than that. The first beauty of Tianfeng City. I don't know which board people selected, probably to shoot the fart of the owner of Tianfeng City. Cough, you guys, today the host of the city is holding the Tianfeng event here, just to discover our outstanding talents in Tianfeng City. The voice of the Lord of Tianfeng City awakened many people who could not be extricated from the beauty of Yulian. Ling Xiao, you must not underestimate Yulian. Although she did not enter the quota of the 4 sons, but it is said that she had adventures this year and her strength has soared. She is not afraid of masters other than the 4 sons. Ling Yihang saw that Ling Xiao was quite disdainful of Shi Yulian, so she couldn't help reminding, and I guess she is afraid to become the only son-in-law this time. Who's that person? Of course, Shi Yulian. Ling Xiao knows how many pounds he has. He who possesses Wuha soul, all the young talents present cannot escape his eyes, so his attention was quickly attracted by another person in the castle's pavilion. That man is Shi Feiyu, the adopted son of Tianfeng City's lord. Last year the Tianfeng event ranked third, and his defense skills are amazing. Oh, that's the case, no wonder I always think he looks a bit like me. Ling Xiao smiled. In fact, the reason why he paid attention to Shi Feiyu was that he felt a very special breath on Shi Feiyu, not like a human race. Probably because you have all trained top-level defense martial arts. Ling Yihang smiled and continued, in Tianfeng City, the strongest is the city's main palace, which is the Shijia, followed by the Li family, then the Wang family, and finally the Ling family. Why do you say that? Ling Xiao asked puzzled. This ranking is based on the Tianfeng event. In the last 2 years, among the disciples of the Ling family, only Ling Fifan was the only one who could enter the top 10 of the Tianfeng event. All the contestants entered the top 10, 3 of the Li family entered the top 10, and 2 of the Wang family, and even outside the 10, the Ling family's contestants were ranked at the end, not even some small families. Ling Yihang sighed. You probably heard about it. www.wuxiaspot.com. The Tianfeng event is related to the status, site and resources of each family in Tianfeng City. Our Ling family has suffered too much in recent years. Now, this session may be different. Ling Xiao smiled. Well, if Ling Feng comes to fight soy sauce according to the original quota, Ling Yun will not be able to enter the top 10. At most, Ling Chen and I will enter the top 10. Ling Yihang snorted coldly, later changed the list. It looks pretty good, except for Yi Shui, our 3 big men should break into the top 10 without a problem. You look down on Sister Yi Shui. Ling Xiao smiled and said, in this grand event, the Ling family will inevitably have 4 people in the top 10 at the same time, and the ranking will not be low. You say that I believe, because your eyesight is better than mine. Ling Yihang nodded and said, our Ling family will finally raise their eyebrows and exhale this time, otherwise they will not be able to lift their heads while walking on the street. Chapter 98, Domineering One Knife. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Ling Xiao was chatting with Ling Yihang, the words of the Lord of Tianfeng City had been finished. The Tianfeng event has officially opened. The test method of this event is a little special. It adopts the way of competition. There are 10 rings in the ring. Anyone can go up to be the challenger, choose a suitable position for the challenger, and then accept the challenge, after losing naturally. Everyone limits the chance of 3 challenges, but these 3 chances will only be used if the challenge fails. If you continue to challenge the victory, then it will not be consumed. The rules are actually very simple and interesting. Let's go to the ring now. That is the host of this event. The voice of the host of Tianfeng City just dropped, and suddenly dozens of figures flew out. Some flew out of the pavilion, some flew out of the pavilion. There are also rushed out of the forest. Obviously, there are many competitors, but those with lighter skills will naturally have a greater advantage. In just an instant, the 10 rings are already occupied. Li Xinghui occupies the highest ring, Ling Chen followed, Shi Feiyu third, Wang Zui fourth, Shi Yulian fifth. Of the remaining 5 rings, 4 of them were divided by Li, Wang and Shijia, and only the 10th ranked ring was occupied by a middle-class disciple. What made Ling's family look dull is that apart from Ling Chen, Ling Xiao, Ling Yihang and Ling Yishui did not move. It's not that they don't want to move, the point is that they never heard of such rules from anyone, so they didn't move. This is a little slower, and it is too late to try again. Ha. The Ling family also deserves to say that it is ridiculous with the other 3 big families. It is actually ridiculous that one Ling Chen took the ring. Yes, are those 3 idiots? Isn't Ling Xiao saying that he defeated Ling Fifan? I think it was a conspiracy, that the disciples of the Li, Shi, and Wang families did not like the Ling family at all. They naturally beat the water dog. In fact, strictly speaking, the 4 major families have no affection for either side, but the Ling family is too bad to be laughed at. I can't sit still, Ling Yihang stood up and said. Then go play, but don't lose, just take the 4th and 5th. Ling Xiao said with a smile. What you said is easy. Ling Yihang smiled bitterly, but he did not disappoint Ling Xiao. After going up, the first role challenge was Wang Zui, who ranked 4th. Normally speaking, it might be easier for him to challenge Yulian, but he doesn't like playing with women. This Ling Yihang has such a bad temper. Wang Zui, dare to fight me. Ling Yihang carried his hands on his back and pinned his long knife to his waist. Although I disdain to deal with you, but I do not want to violate the rules, just fight. Wang sits on the ring most, and he has no intention of getting up. Ling Yihang sneered, but said nothing. He doesn't like lip service. Ling Yihang is also really brave enough to dare to challenge Wang Zui, one of the 4 sons. Anyway, there are 3 chances. If you lose, you should learn from each other. I'm not afraid of changing. But if you learn from people who are too different from your strength, there won't be any improvement at all. I think he is a pig with green onions on his nose, just pretending to be an elephant. He just feels that what we just said is not good. I want to have a long face, but I am afraid that I will have more opportunities to lose face. Everyone in the audience was talking about it, and they were not optimistic about Ling Yihang, which made Wang Zui even more arrogant. He was not ready to get up and face the battle. I can easily defeat you when I sit here, so I don't need to stand up. Facing Ling Yihang, he said so. Ling Yihang challenges Wang Zui, start. As the main lord of Tianfeng City fell down, suddenly a bright knife light also fell to the ground almost simultaneously. Then I saw that Wang was lying on the ring like a dead dog, almost bleeding from Qiqiao, but he didn't die anyway. Moron. Ling Yihang's suffocated fire finally vented. Watching Wang was most lifted off the ring, which was cool. Which the 4 sons, is just a temporary lead, and it's really lifeless and stupid. After finishing his speech, Ling Yihang inserted the long knife directly into the ring and happily looked at the challenges of others. It seems that we are all wrong. The Ling family is the strongest. I am afraid it is not Ling Chen or Ling Xiao, but this Ling Yihang. This person is too strong. Only that knife, I can feel the bitter knife meaning. That's right, I also felt it. I actually defeated Wang Zui by a knife, and there is no such strength. I am afraid that even Li Xinghui may not win him. This is how people behave. Whoever performs better will win more respect and admiration. Ling Yihang struck the king the worst, and this strength is really terrible. The next challenge is a bit commonplace. No one challenges the top 5 platforms, but all challenge the 6 to 10 platforms. It's just that the people occupying these few platforms are not irritating, so apart from the success of Ling Yihang's first challenge, none of the others actually succeeded. Brother, I will go up and try. Ling Yixue looked at Ling Xiao and said. Go, remember not to challenge Yulian. That woman is much stronger than it seems. Feiyu is a good opponent, you can choose him. Ling Xiao suggested. I don't know when. In Ling Yixue's mind, Ling Xiao's status is even higher than that of the Ling family's senior elders. She had doubts and would not ask those people, but asked Ling Xiao directly. Okay, I listen to you. Ling Yixue took the stage, and Chong Feiyu gave a courtesy. Under Ling Yixue, hope to enlighten me. What's going on with the Ling family? When they come up, they challenge the 4 sons. Maybe I really have that strength. Well, don't make an assertion first, just look at it. Look at those of you. I don't believe that Ling's family has a Ling Yihang, but can they produce a stronger one than Ling Yihang? Ling Yixue challenged Feiyu and instantly pushed the Tianfeng event to a peak. Everyone was a little surprised. There are also some expectations. Ling Chen, you Ling family are indeed domineering. Li Xinghui glanced at Ling Chen. Don't tell me this, I don't know that woman. Ling Chen said coldly, however, with her strength, most of them are impossible to win. After all, the annual ratio is only ranked 6th, if others are closed. It's not her turn to practice. Is it? Li Xinghui frowned. www.wuxiaspot.com didn't say anything. Feiyu still attaches great importance to Ling Yixue. After all, with Wang Zui's lessons in front of him, he didn't want to overturn the boat in the gutter, so he used the most defensive martial arts as soon as he came up. That's the entry-level top defensive martial arts iron manuscript. Yes, last year's Tianfeng event, Shifeiyu swept the rest of the enemies by relying on the iron clothes magic skill, and finally only lost to Li Xinghui and Wang Zui. At that time, his iron clothes magic skill had just finished, and I don't know what happened this year. At least it's time to enter the realm of mastery. Isn't that even more desperate? Top defensive martial arts, even if they are only entry-level, it is difficult to practice. In the voice of discussion, Shifeiyu has launched an attack, during the performance of Iron Manuscript, as if wearing an iron mantle. Not only the defense is greatly enhanced, but even the attack is also enhanced. Chapter 99, Ling Xiao Shot. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Iron clothes are loose. Shifeiyu's attacking moves were practiced in conjunction with iron mantra, and his limbs were cast like steel, making it very difficult to entangle, cold palm. Ling Xiao did not dare to neglect, and used the advanced martial arts that had entered the state of consummation. The whole body's gang gas instantly became extremely cold, and a palm burst out, and it seemed that hoarfrost was generated. Boom. The two sides did not give in to each other, and two gangs of gas collided in mid-air. Shifeiyu shook his body, feeling cold in his arms and unable to pursue him for a while. Ling Xiao took 3 or 4 consecutive steps to stand still. So strong. Yeah, Shifeiyu's iron clothes are loose, it's terrible, and it's not too much to open the stone and the stone. Ling Xiao can actually block it, and only took 3 or 4 steps back. It seems that it's not unreasonable for her to challenge Shifeiyu. But if you go on like this, you will still lose. Take out your true skills. Shifeiyu flicked his hands, and his cold energy was resolved by him. However, there was no slight joy on his face, because he discovered from the moment he played that Ling Xiao did not use his full strength at all. As you wish. Ling Xiao was still thinking about keeping her hand in case someone behind challenged her, but now it seems that without full effort, I am afraid it is difficult to defeat Shifeiyu. Suddenly, her whole body turned into 7 colors. It was like wearing a colorful dress. Entry-level top defense martial arts colorful xia. The visionary quickly recognized the martial arts performed by Ling Xiao. Impossible, how could she be a top martial artist? Ling Chen exclaimed in surprise. Why, she knows the top martial arts, you Ling family don't know it yourself. Oh, it seems that your Ling family is not very united. Li Xinghui smiled faintly, but this way, this battle will be interesting. Ling Xiao is only the Wuzhong midterm cultivation practice, but Shifeiyu is the Wumai Wuzhong peak cultivation practice. The strength is so different, even if she also learned the entry-level top martial arts, it is not a defeat. Ling Chen sneered coldly. Oh, it's interesting, you actually don't support your own people. Li Xinghui looked at Ling Chen with interest, wondering if the Ling family was scattered. Could they take advantage of the opportunity to do something? Only Ling Chen was secretly crying. The 4 people in the battle this time, the other 3 were a gang, but he was isolated. He didn't have any kind of affection for Ling Xiao, and even some were only angry, and naturally hated at the same time. Ling Xiao is on. The fighting continued. Ling Xiao and Shifeiyu, who played colorful xia, were inseparable. Although inferior in the realm, Ling Xiao did not know if he got the advice of the superior, and his combat skills were very clever, completely making up for the disadvantages in the realm. About there. After about 50 moves, Ling Xiao suddenly smiled. No one knew Ling Xiao better than him, and the battle should be over. He had just landed, and suddenly a very strange scene appeared on the ring. Shifeiyu was frozen all over his body and could not move. At this time, if Ling Xiao wanted to kill him, it was easy. Ling Xiao. What happened just now? How did Ling Xiao win? I didn't see clearly. It is estimated that some secret method was used. Shifeiyu didn't even have the resistance to resist. In any case, this time the Ling family can have a long face. 2 consecutive people entered the top 4, plus that Ling Chen, that is, 3 people. Is it possible that the Ling family will occupy the position of the four sons this time? It's not that simple. Not long after the summit started, Li Xinghui and Shi Yulian haven't shot yet, not to mention that the Li family, the Shi family and the Wang family also have masters. But now it seems that the Ling family should be Ling Yixue's strongest. Ling Yiheng followed. Ling Chen didn't do it for the time being, but it is estimated to be ranked third, but that Ling Xiao is the weakest, not good for the Ling family's big, it's just a blind eye. Yes, it's highly possible that it will be given the first name, and it will deliberately let others relax their vigilance. Hearing these words, Ling Xiaotian and the elder Ling Yin in the Lingjia pavilion's complexion were not so good. This time the Tianfeng event, there was neither Ling Yixue nor Ling Xiao on the list. Now Ling Yixue has taken the third place, which makes them completely unexpected, and if expected, Ling Xiao is more terrible than Ling Yixue. The disciples who did not choose to get such good results are simply hitting their old faces. What are you talking about? What is Ling Xiao's weight? I won't know if I try. Ling Xiao, if you are a man, come and challenge me. In seventh place is a disciple of the Li family, who was trained as a martial arts in the fifth period. Originally Ling Xiao was not interested in such a person, but when he thought of the tragic death of his brothers and relatives, he became very upset. Since you are looking for beating, I will fulfill you. He stood up, smiled at the Li family disciple, ranked seventh, and jumped into the ring. Don't you dare to challenge Ling Yiheng, dare to challenge Ling Yixue, and dare not to challenge Ling Chen, but put the goal on me. Could I really feel that I am bullying? Ling Xiao came here to learn from this time, but not to teach others about martial arts, so there is absolutely no interest in such people. He intends to cut the mess quickly and make a quick decision. How is it? The Li family disciple did not care, just to see you soft persimmons to pinch you. Okay, then you can go on. Ling Xiao waved her hand gently, then a stunned scene appeared. In the later period of Wumai Wuzhong, the Li family disciple, ranked seventh in the ring, was actually patted and flew out like a piece of paper. There was no response at all. Don't say a trick. Ling Xiao didn't do anything at all, just waved it casually. How could it be so strong? The audience finally shocked. This Ling Xiao, I'm afraid it's not as bad as we thought. Think about it too. The annual family of the Ling family is not a joke. If he can beat Ling Fifan, he will definitely not be too weak. I don't believe this evil. Dare you dare to accept my challenge? Another Li disciple jumped up. Are you stronger than the one just now? Ling Xiao asked lightly. Almost. Since it's almost the same, go up and do it. When the words fell, he waved his hand gently, and the man was thrown down as soon as he jumped into the ring. Twice in a row, the two martial arts fighters in the late fifth stage were directly dropped into the ring, and it seemed completely cloudless and breezy, without any effort, so no one can still see his superiority. Sure you are going to challenge Ling Xiao? Shi Yulian, sitting on the fifth ring, suddenly looked at a teenager in his pavilion and said www.wuxiaspot.com sister, let me deal with him. It's a big deal, right? The young man's words were shocked. Everyone has just seen the ability of Ling Xiao. This sure you must not be a blind man. He dared to say so, which is enough to show that his strength is much stronger than that of the two. Obedient. Shi Yulian's voice seemed to be magical, and anyone who listened to it would feel very comfortable. Ling Xiao is no exception, but he only enjoys this sound, but he will not be distracted by it. I know my sister. Shi Yu jumped on the ring, looked at Ling Xiao and said, Ling Xiao, don't blame me for being unpleasant. My shot must be to see the blood. I hope you can go on your own. Chapter 100, Multiple Dark. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I heard correctly, would you let me go down? Ling Xiao narrowed her eyes to the young man in front of her. She was similar to her age, and there was nothing special about it. What made him so confident? Yes, I said that once I shoot, I will definitely see the blood. You will be seriously injured if you do it properly. Shi Yu nodded seriously. Looking at this person doesn't seem to scare people. Ling Xiao became somewhat interested in him. Attack me with your strongest moves. If you can move me from where you are, you will win. He smiled and smiled. Sister, is this a fool? He can't understand me. Shiryu looked at Yulian and smiled bitterly. Shut up, this person's strength is not bad, you may not be able to win, or be careful. Yulian snapped. Sister, don't joke, once my strongest move comes out, even you can hurt, dare you say that you can't step back? Shiryu smiled bitterly, I really don't want to hurt anyone. This child is really cute and honest, rest assured, I have trained top defensive martial arts, even if you are injured, it will not be seriously injured. Ling Xiao was originally uncomfortable with Shiryu's big words, but after listening to his conversation with Yulian, the discomfort disappeared in an instant. Dare to feel that the child really didn't look down on him, but a pure honest man, and also very kind. Well, you prepare, I'm going to move. Shiryu finally took a deep breath after hearing Ling Xiao's words, and her original eyes became sharp as a knife instantly, the gang chi that had been suppressed also burst out. Good momentum, although the state is the 5 peaks of Wumai, but the quality of gangchi has at least reached the level of Wumai 6-fold, no wonder so confident. Ling Xiao is going to be beaten. I blamed him for being too loud, did not listen to people. Shiryu said, all efforts, even Miss Yulian will be injured. Hey, Ling family's momentum is too hard, and finally one is going to lose. The following people had a lot of discussion, but the two above the ring did not listen. Ling Xiao carried his hands on his back, and the blue robe automatically moved without wind, with a faint smile on his face, and he could not see the tension at all. Shiryu clenched her fists, but hadn't attacked yet. The roaring roar of sound had made many people around him unbearable. Boom. Suddenly a burst of sound sounded, and Shiryu's fists exploded, as if the mountains and the sea were falling. The air was deformed. No, it's not the air deformation, it's just that some distortion has occurred in the space. Looking through the chi of his double fists, the surrounding figures are all distorted. Jiao Tao Quan, like the roar of the sea, waves of waves rushed to Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao finally saw that what was the most terrible part of this trick, it seems to be just an attack, but it contains 6 levels of dark energy, as if it were 7 waves, one after another, and one is stronger than one. Come well. Ling Xiao's eyes lit up, no wonder that Shiryu is so confident, if such a fist, if the opponent is not him, but someone else, it is really terrible, but the 9 turns to gold body technique has a natural restraint effect on this kind of multi-darkness boxing. It's a pity that Shiryu's strong punch is afraid of tragedy. This Shiryu's attack power, I am afraid that even if compared with Li Xinghui, it will not be much worse. Yeah, although he relied on multiple dark energy, Li Xinghui was a strong blow, but it should be similar in power. Ling Xiao can't stop it. Yeah, unless he cultivates top defensive martial arts to Deshang realm. The sound of the discussion just fell, and suddenly there was a cry of exclamation on the ring over there, and then a figure flew directly from the ring. Is it Ling Xiao? No. It's Shiryu. What the happened? Damn, I missed a wonderful scene while chatting. 9-turn golden body tactics. Deshang realm, someone told him the answer. What? The top-ranking defensive martial art known as the most difficult to practice 9 turns golden body tips. Everyone looked at the ring. Ling Xiao stood there with golden light, just like a battle against the Buddha. He said that he would not retreat, and he would not retreat. Instead, Shiryu was shocked and vomited blood, and it looked like he was very hurt. Sister, he is so powerful, even better than that Li Xinghui. Thought Shiryu was not hurt badly, but did not expect the silly boy to stand up and wipe his mouth, and said something that made Li Xinghui frown slightly. Don't talk nonsense, hurry up and heal. Yulian frowned and said that she, as the main mansion of the city, naturally understood the way of enveloping people's hearts, so she was really unwilling to offend Li Xinghui and the Li family because of this matter. Your name is Shiryu, right? Your Jing Tao fist is very powerful, and the Gang Chi is also very pure, but I suggest you practice the internal strength of the water system, this punch will be stronger. Ling Xiao smiled and said to Shiryu, you are not weak, but it's a pity that you met me. If you hadn't practiced in 9 turns to gold body skills to the 7th turn, you wouldn't be able to stop your blow today. Ling Xiao, you don't have to praise me, you are really strong, I will serve you. Shiryu spit out another blood while talking, which was pulled by the Shi family to heal. Ling Xiao seldom appreciates people, and there are not many people who can let him instruct. Ling family only has Ling Yixue and Ling Yihang, plus a Ling Luo, and this Shiyu is one of them. Ling Xiao defeated Shiyu, but it was regarded as the first show, and the previous contempt and neglect of him were all gone, especially, the top martial art 9 turns to the golden body practice to the 7th turn, which has never been heard in Tianfeng City or even the younger generation of the Northern Han dynasty. His strength, no one has doubted so far. Although I admit Ling Xiao's strength, he should still be the last of the 4 Ling family. After all, if it is only a strong defense, it is easy to be targeted. Same thing, I don't know who will challenge him next. Ling Xiao, you really deserve to be challenged by me. Is the speaker who is Wang Zui, one of the 4 sons who ranked 4th, after a period of rest and treatment, he has recovered almost. Yu reading www.yuyukangshu.com. Shouldn't you challenge Ling Yihang? Ling Xiao asked suspiciously. Less nonsense, don't you dare to fight. Wang certainly wanted to challenge Ling Yihang, but he really had to be frightened by Ling Yihang's knife, and he had no confidence at all to challenge Ling Yihang. The reason why challenged Ling Xiao was that Ling Xiao was weaker than Ling Yihang, and his defensive opponent would be more comfortable with it. He is best at poison, even if the defensive martial arts are stronger. It is useless in front of his poison, which is why he chose Ling Xiao to challenge. Although Ling Xiao is only on the 7th ring now, it doesn't matter. Everyone on the scene can see that Ling Xiao is very strong, afraid that it will not be weaker than Shi Yulian, so as long as he defeats Ling Xiao, he should be able to save a little face. Ling Yihang over there looked at Wang Zui, but secretly sympathized with this guy. Idiot chooses who is not good, actually choose Ling Xiao. This is not just looking for abuse. How terrifying Ling Xiao is. Ling Yihang knows best. No one has ever felt like Ling Xiao, who can't catch up, feels unfathomable. Since you want to challenge, then come, I really want to see how much stronger you are than Ling Fifan. Ling Xiao said lightly.